Hey, so it's Keith. I'm going to talk about winter solstice, okay? And this has been the most magical year of my life. When I was in Thailand, I was a little bit removed from my magical life because I was with Jason side by side with him all the time. But so much of me, like I used to smoke a lot of pot and I'd forget whether the moon was waning or waxing, and I'd miss dates, and it's just like, and I kind of like, after a while, I do want to slightly reintroduce some marijuana into my life because I don't want to be enemies with any plant spirit. Plant spirits are amazing. So, but that's what I'm learning right now, is that I got to really be programmed in. And so we have a full moon in Gemini coming up, and I actually didn't know. I was like, oh shit, I got to stop the video and I got to find out when the full moon is. So the full moon's in Gemini, and as I looked at a grid, it's so amazing. We live in this world of such total synchronicity, and each full moon just keeps stepping through the zodiac. Like the last full moon was in Taurus, the last full moon before that was in Aries, the last full moon before that was in Pisces, which is just walking right down the line. And it's like so funny, or it's walking backwards in the line actually, walking forward as we're proceeding forward. But I'm looking at it backwards and I'm going, oh shit. It's like anybody that thinks that we live in a place of chaos, of just that we're this like big, like explosion, this big bang of just, and all of this is based on gravity and heat and cold and hydrogen and oxygen, is so full of shit. Okay, so what to do? Okay, so we live our magical life, we do works of magic. We're just getting ready back to doing magic again. And so between Halloween and this time right now is sort of a time of reflection, of making lists. And it's really interesting because for me, I don't always go with that sort of Wicca witchcraft thing of like during the waning moon, you do removing, banishing kinds of things, and during the waxing moon, you do acquiring things. Of like if you were trying to get more money during the waxing moon, you would try to like figure out how to acquire that, and during the waning moon, you would try to figure out how to get rid of the things that are blocking you. Okay, if that makes any sense. So actually, this period that's right now that we're coming out of. And so we have a full moon tomorrow. It's at 4:06 p.m. I believe, where I live, and it'll be tomorrow morning in Europe and Asia, I guess. And so it's interesting. So that's tomorrow, which is the 13th, and then we have I don't know when the winter solstice is, whether it's the 20th, the 21st, or the 22nd. It's usually always on the 21st, but whatever, you can look it up. So I'm going to continue doing this I just bought a bunch of candles at Eye of the Cat, and I'm going to do some magic tomorrow, and I've been making a bunch of lists, and this is what you want to do during this period. I've been really thinking about like 2017 is just going to be one of the most powerful years ever for me. I'm like making a lot of changes. I'm finding out like what's important to me. I'm finding out what I want to do. I'm living a life that's more childlike and has more wisdom. I'm kind of in awe because of like, look at all the pinkness and the orangeness and everything. It's so beautiful. So we're going to kind of bust out of this. Like, so the winter solstice, to me, it's actually one of the most important holidays of the ancient times, because when people lived not in modern times, when they were doing what they did, the winter solstice was the most important day because it was the return of the sun. So in a way, and this is my system, okay? Everything that I talk about, I don't talk about traditional stuff. And like, just to give you an example, like a lot of people that like are kind of more dogmatic and follow what everybody else is doing, they talk about that the day, and I've done this myself, the day to start a fast is a new moon. And I kind of almost think the opposite, because when you're doing a fast, you're trying to detox. And so I would think that the waxing or the wanning energy would be like more appropriate. So I personally, I'm going to do 2017. I'm going to start my fast on the full moon. Okay, that's the exact opposite of what most people would say. But the important thing here that I'm trying to say is developing your own program. Oh my fucking God, this is so beautiful. Developing your own program. So let's just have a little breath here. So anyways, so we have the full moon coming tomorrow, and then we have a sort of waning energy that's going towards the winter solstice. And then I'm doing a bunch of magic and just getting candles ready and stuff like that. And I actually have a little Christmas tree. It's like I didn't really have a lot of money, so it's kind of a fake Christmas tree. And I'm actually doing a lot of like writing down things that are on my list on bits of parchment paper, and then I'm going to roll them into little, roll them up and then tie them and put them on my tree. And I'll show you that stuff, and then I'm going to probably like burn them on the full moon. And this is not, I'm not going to get caught up in a lot of what I did with my like spell jar thing of, you know, just uploading a bunch of stuff. And hey, so I'm gonna cut this video like really short. I just do want to tell you that like a lot of people are probably confused about like they would think that I would do the magic thing on one channel or the spiritual life thing on one channel and the nutrition thing on another channel. For me, that's bullshit. Of like, if you want to live a spiritual life, like the ultimate thing that we experience our lives with, no matter how heady you want to get out there, no matter what you want to do, the machine that you do that in is with the body. And so living a healthy life, and I say living a raw vegan lifestyle of where you're getting away from killing and you're taking in the life force intact of raw food, and in the case of me, of where I'm growing all my food as sprouts and getting into those growth factors and all of that, of like just making the body the machine by which you experience this dimension with. I mean, look at this ultimate dimension here. Slow down, slow down. You want to make that machine more conductive so you can be more of a spiritual person. And so on the other end, if you're like completely a nutritional person, which is like if some of you other people have been around me for a long time, you're like, oh, what the fuck's he doing? Why can't he just get on with those recipes or talk about Chinese tonic herbs or some of the other stuff that I've done? I plateaued out on all that stuff. And only now that I've gotten into like understanding my mentalness, my emotions, and connected more in with the spirit, have I found that I can move forward and continue moving forward and continue expanding. And speaking of expanding, this is Sagittarius times. And the association with Sagittarius is Jupiter, and it's all about expansion. So I'm going to leave it there. So make up your lists and all of that kind of stuff and do your magic. Just make lists and just keep checking back on it and make sure that you make 2017 awesome. And by the way, the other thing is just that the winter solstice is actually the first of the year, not January 1, but I do go with the collective consciousness on a lot of stuff too. So I do a lot of stuff on January 1 as well, but like I connect in with my my big magical part of me on winter solstice. Okay, it's Keith. Support me by supporting my music. Links in the drop down to my Bandcamp page, secondculture.bandcamp.com, and then my I'm Live Rockstar on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and everything else I can get my hands on. There's going to be a liverockstar.com. There actually is. If you go to liverockstar.com, it'll go to secondculture.com. second-culture.com. Well, I'm going to maybe go to I'm thinking about going to my favorite restaurant, maybe. I don't really eat at restaurants, but this is my favorite. It's Steamed in Long Beach here. I was thinking about getting something warm. Maybe coming back to the beach here later on tonight and having a little run in the sand. I love to run in the sand. Okay, let's make this a shorter video. It's Keith. Bye. Support me by supporting my music again. Sorry for saying that again. Bye.